What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I'm here to bring you all the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure review. And in this week's episode today, we are heading into episode 20. Hard to believe we only have about 19 episodes left until part 4 is over. I mean, we are just breezing through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure part 4 right now. Anyways, let's get with the review. So in this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Yokako, which is the girl, the obsessive girlfriend that we have seen in the previous episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, how she's madly in love with Koichi, she actually makes a return in this episode. Pretty much she is living her daily life, and we see that she still has feelings for Koichi, of course, but Koichi, on the other hand, does not feel the same sort of emotional connection that Yokako has for Koichi. She still has feelings for him, however, Koichi doesn't have feelings for her, so of course this bothers her. However, Yokako is in luck because you see there is a brand new beauty salon in town which apparently has an ad that says if you try out the products there, you are guaranteed to acquire love. Like that. And of course, Yokako ends up trying out the makeup that is given by the salonist, and come to find out that apparently her makeup actually works. It has a magical effect in which the feelings that you feel for that specific individual can also counteract back at you by having that other individual actually share the same feelings that you do. And the first time that we see Koichi and Yokako meet up in this episode, we see that they are actually having almost an intimate emotional connection with one another. However, that is until Koichi has to really use the bathroom really bad. And the downside to this makeup that Yokako has is that the makeup has a special effect. However, at the same time, it only lasts for 30 minutes. And of course, Yokako doesn't like this because she wants this to last forever in her life. That way she can actually gain the love and affection that she feels for Koichi and have him share the same feelings that she does. So of course, she ends up going back to the salonist, and this is where we see that the salonist is actually a stand user, which we kind of already knew. Chaos just ensues in this episode, and we see Yokako go through several instances in which she alters her face and also even alters her body just to suit the needs for Koichi and gain his love, you know? And we also get to see in this episode that Yokako and Koichi kiss for the first time. So for any shippers out there, I mean, I guess you got to see it. What I personally thought was very enjoyable while watching this episode was how the use of literature was actually being, you know, I guess symbolized in this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, as we see that the salonist, you know, was inspired by the fairy godmother in the story Cinderella, and Yokako is technically Cinderella, you know, and you can say that the salonist is like the fairy godmother, therefore, you know, watching over Yokako, make sure she is doing everything right that won't hinder, you know, altering her body more, and also applying several instances in which she is trying to help Yokako try to get Koichi's, you know, love back. So I thought that was very cool on how the story of Cinderella kind of played a role in this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well. But to be quite honest with you, like, as you watch more of the episode, of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you start to think that less of the story of Cinderella is being told and more of the story of Beauty and the Beast. Because the more you watch this episode, the more you start to think that the salonist is actually the true Beauty in the episode, while Yokako, you know, she's going through several instances in which she is trying to alter her body just to, you know, meet the needs of one individual, and therefore by doing so, while she might last, you know, beautiful for only a specific amount of time, really, she is ugly, you know. It's making her uglier. It's making her, you know, more ugly on the inside as well on the outside, and she just represents more of the beast than beauty. And by the end of this episode, we do see that there is also a little meaning that goes on by the end of the episode, and is that, you know, beauty isn't everything. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and Koichi ended up falling in love with Yokako in this episode, and therefore he accepts the love that Yokako has for him, and she is willing to accept him for who he is, and also he's willing to accept her for who she is. So honestly, by the end of the day, it was a win-win for everybody, pretty much, and it was just a pretty awesome episode, pretty comical, and I personally really enjoyed this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But I got a question. What is going on with Joseph Joestar and, you know, the little baby? Like, I just gotta say, because, you know, we got introduced to Joseph Joestar like a few episodes ago. Finally, he made a return. He's my favorite JoJo, but he has had like little to no screen time. Like, what is going on with Joseph Joestar? I want to see more from my boy. I'm just a little bit salty on that. Also, in the beginning of this episode, as Yokako is actually going into the beauty salon, we see for a brief moment the serial killer, I guess the person who is rumored to be the main antagonist of Part 4 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm very curious. You know, we got a little glimpse and also a little foreshadowing in like the past 2 to 3 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 about the serial killer, and I'm very interested to see, you know, what he is capable of and when we will actually get to see more from him later down the line as the episodes come out for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So yeah, I think that about does it for this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let me know what you guys thought about this review in the comments section down below, and of course, what did you think about the episode? I'm very curious to see your overall comments on what you thought about the episode, and do you really think, like, more of the Cinderella story was being told in this episode, or more of the Beauty and the Beast story? In my personal opinion, I think it was more of the Beauty and the Beast, and the true meaning behind beauty that we see by the end of this episode. So yeah, I don't know, that's just my personal opinion, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. It always helps out the channel, and if you want to stick up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. I love you all, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.